And the runners are now on the track for race number one today. Race number one is a maiden $8,000 claimer for 2-year-olds going 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. In the first race today, number 4 Loverboy Tom is 2 pounds over. Pick 5 sequence, excuse me. The early pick 5 starts here, and in this race, we also have win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta wagering, early daily double, early pick 3 wagering. Post time for race number 1, 8 minutes. Five minutes until race number one, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Dinnerman here, high atop the grandstand, and we've got a good card of races, not only today, but also tomorrow and Sunday. Just a good racing week that our racing office and horsemen have assembled for you to watch and wager on. So I'm really looking forward to this week, and I hope you are too. We've got 8 races today to kick off our racing week, Friday through Sunday once again. And we kick things off with the early pick 5. It's a low 14% takeout bet, and I've got a ticket for you, and we're going to press all of them here in race number 1. Yes, we are pressing the all button here. Very competitive 2-year-old maiden race to kick off our day. We'll talk about these horses in a little bit. Race number 2, I'm singling number 6, Concise Advice. She's been beaten as the favorite in her last 2 races. 2 starts ago, she didn't break well and only lost by a length and a quarter, broke very poorly, in fact, and that cost her. And then she came back and ran second, yes, as the favorite again. But Miss Lady and the winner came right back to win against an N2X condition group. Concise Advice dropping in class. I think this is a perfect spot for her to get that victory against winners. Race number 3, an allowance race for 2-year-olds. I'm using 2 runners in there. Love 'em and Leave 'em, who's the morning line favorite. Comes out of a key race, gate to wire in the career debut for the Jonathan Wong barn. I'm also using Dr. Piscato, a horse that, yes, didn't earn the type of speed figure Love 'em and Leave 'em did in the career debut, but Dr. Piscato won by 7 and ran like a nice horse. So we're going to use both horses. Race number 4, very fun race there. 5 furlong turf dash for 2-year-old mean special weight horses. I think there's some really nice first time starters in there. In the end, though, we're going to go 5 deep. Very competitive race. Race number 5, I'm singling again. Number 1, Rock Till You Drop, coming off a win against Easier. Facing tougher, trainer Isidro Tamayo wins at a high percentage, 29% first off the claim, though. And this horse has really shown an affinity for the Tapita. So altogether, we make this a $30 ticket, and this is the early pick 5 with that low takeout. And I'm excited about this sequence and really the whole day, and hopefully you are too. Let's talk about these horses here in the opener. A lot of ground to cover. Got to get to it. Louis Zamperini, number 6, coming off 2 very poor efforts down south for trainer Steve Mayotte. Now here in Northern California, takes 2.5 months off after a loss in which he lost by 36 lengths. He's had a pretty sporadic work pattern. After that July 3rd run, he didn't work until August 19th. Came back 8 days later. Then he took about 3 weeks off, comes back with another work. Now he's in for $8,000. I made him the 3rd pick. This field, it's not a world beating group by any means. And we've seen trainer Steve Mayotte over the years really thrive with taking horses from Southern California that don't necessarily fare well down there, coming up here and doing a lot better. But I still think this horse on paper is not a horse you can trust to A, single, and B, even at 5-2, I don't really want to play a horse like this at that price. So I'm going to make him the 3rd pick here. Loverboy Tom, number 4, my favorite angle in play here, cutting back from a route to a sprint. He ran okay in his first 2 races. One of those races, he wasn't really competitive, but he didn't have the greatest trip. He had a little bit of traffic into the far turn. The first career race, he ran 3rd behind an X'd out winner. So he can run back to that sprint race in the career debut. He can win this race, I think, here. But you know what? This horse here cuts back in distance from a route to a sprint. And I think with that in mind, he's going to be very, very fit for this race here. That's Loverboy Tom on the screen, my top pick at 4-1. The cutback is really the main thing for me. When horses do this, they're really fit, and sometimes they come with career best numbers and efforts. So I'm going to make him the pick. The second pick for me is number 2, Running on Empty. Ran actually pretty well in the career debut. Didn't break particularly great. Was well behind. Made up decent ground down the lane and galloped out okay for maiden 25,000. Came back for maiden 12.5 and regressed. He didn't run well at all. So I don't know what happened that day and why he regressed so significantly, but he may be best of the rest in here, and he's currently 7-2. A minute to post race number 1, folks. We kick off the early pick 5 sequence. Again, a very competitive race. I'm pressing the all button here. Good luck. And the red light is flashing on the starting gate at Golden Gate Fields. The runners have made their way towards the gate for race number 1. A field of a half dozen in this spot here, folks. Manal about the money to the inside post is loaded into the gate. running on empty, post 2. Senora Sermon, post position number 3. Loverboy Tom coming up. Starry Sierra, post position number 5. And to the outside post, Louis Zamperini to round out the group. We're ready to go. We're off and running at Golden Gate Field. Slow beginning for Louis Zamperini, who's at the back of the field, the favorite early on. A quick beginning for Senora Sermon, who wastes no time, goes to the front, leads by a length from Loverboy Tom and Louis Zamperini. There's a clump of horses right behind the leader, Senora Sermon. A couple of them had to take up entering the far turn, and all about the money and running on empty. They round the turn, and look at Louis Zamperini go. Louis Zamperini broke terribly at the start, and he's made a big looping run towards the lead, but Senora Sermon goes with him, and those two all of a sudden open up on the competition. It's a match race off the turn. Senora Sermon on the inside. Louis Zamperini made an early bid, is trying to keep up, but Senora Sermon has more in the tank in the final furlong and strides away. Louis Zamperini made a premature move, second best today, ran pretty well, but Senora Sermon opens up coming to the finish, and Senora Sermon wins it under Pedro Torero. Second was Louis Zamperini, running on empty third. Loverboy Tom fourth. Number 3, Senora Sermon first. Second goes to number 6, Louis Zamperini. Third, number 2, running on empty. And fourth was number 4, Loverboy Tom. 3, 6, 2, 4, your top 4 finishers in race number 1. Please continue to stand by until the result is declared official. And this race is now official. Number 3, Senora Sermon about to enter the winner's circle. He's a 2-year-old chestnut gelding by Rousing Sermon out of Sizzlin' Senora by Unusual Heat. Senora Sermon was bred in California by Baseline Equine LLC, who now currently owns. Trained by Isidro Tamayo, Pedro Torero, your winning jockey. Number 3, Senora Sermon, your winner of the opener. Number 3, Senora Serban pays $8 to win, $1 exacta, $10.30. 50-cent trifecta, $15.35. 10-cent superfecta, $7 and a nickel. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is race number 2 in the second race today. Number 7, Passionate Road, has been scratched. Number 4, Big Award, is 1 pound overweight. 9, Gray Abbey, Francisco Monroy will ride. In the second race, we start the early pick 4 sequence, and in the second race, we also have a rolling super high 5 carryover of $1,800. Race number 2 is Leg E, the last leg of the Stronach 5 wager. Post time for race 2, 22 minutes.
Loading now. Twice gold. Shady Money. Hampton Lane reloaded. Dr. Rags. Free square. Vinny. Good luck to all playing on the Stronach 5 today. Leg C here at Laurel Park. 7 to 5 on Twist and Twirl. As Kazoo moves in. Kazoo. And they're off. Twist and Twirl, wasting no time right to the front from Shady Money and Free Square. Early speed on the inside, 3 right across, and Vinny bounced away running in fourth, and Dr. Rags is fifth, and settling 6-7 from the front, Hampton Lane, and Kazoo on the far outside. Sweet Street is in between horses, back to Witty. Baltimore Bullet hard ridden early on, but losing ground, and trailing the field is Twice Gold, whose last now has about 17 or 18 to make up on the front runner, and it is Shady Money. Into the turn, Shady Money and Twist and Twirl keeping up under a ride in second. Free Square is in third position. On the outside, Dr. Rags unleashing a rally. Here's Dr. Rags moving solidly while 3 wide on that turn. Vinny is next, and Witty's got a chance too. Moving through Gamely in between horses. Another 3 back, and it's Sweet Street. And the inside is Hampton Lane. They're at the top of the stretch, and Shady Money's the one to catch. Shady Money turns for home from Twist and Twirl by 2.5, and Free Square between horses. Witty is running gamely under drive in fourth. The outside, Dr. Rags flattened out a bit in fifth. It's Shady Money and Angel Cruz. Shady Money's coming home. Shady Money from Witty is charging to second. Shady Money. From second, it'll be Witty, and third, Twist and Twirl, a photo with Free Square next, and then it was Baltimore on the outside, and Making a little ground late on the inside was Twice Gold.
And the runners are now on the track for race number 2. A $4,000 claimer for fillies and mares 3 years old and upward, going 6 furlongs. Number 7, Passionate Road, has been scratched. Make the jockey on number 9, Gray Abbey, Francisco Monroy. Number 4, Big Award, is 1 pound overweight. In the second race today, this is the last leg of the Stronach 5 wager. We all start the early pick 4, and we have a rolling super high 5 bet in this race and a carryover of $1,865 in that pool. Also, win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, daily double, and pick 3 wagering are offered. 8 minutes to post, start of that early pick 4. Senora Sermon gets the win in race number 1, and really a respectable run from Louis Zamperini, who, if he can break next time and run back to that type of race against that condition, he'll probably be a maiden not much longer if he stays at that level, because he actually ran pretty well. But Senora Sermon, we talked about trainer Isidro Tamayo, very, very sharp with maiden second-time starters, and Isidro wins at 23% with maiden second-time starters. That percentage went up a little bit there as we saw Senora Sermon get the win. Let's talk about this second race, start of the early pick 4, rolling high 5 carryover of $1,800. And we end the Stronach 5 with this race here. It's a $4,000 non-2 lifetime condition, so all of these runners in here have broken their maidens. They have yet to defeat winners. And this guy right here, Concise Advice, or this filly, I should say, I got 2 things wrong in a row. She is not a guy. She is not a filly. She is a mare. So let's start that over. Third time's the charm. Number 6, Concise Advice, a mare by Slews Tisnow, coming off of 2 losses as the favorite too, and she actually lost 4 starts ago as the even money favorite. So she has burned money. There is no doubt about that. However, in all of those races, she was facing tougher. Last time out, she ran second to a runaway winner, Miss Lady Anne, who came right back to defeat an N2X condition group and on 3 lifetime race. So I think that bodes well. The fact that Concise Advice, yes, lost as the favorite, but who she lost to, a mare that's a lot nicer than any of the horses in here. Concise Advice 3 starts ago didn't break all that well and sprinted 5 furlongs on the turf and just had too much. She is getting bet very, very hard right now, like a mare that is, in the betting public's eyes, clearly the one to beat in here, and I think she is. That's number 6, Concise Advice. Her speed figures indicate she can beat this field, no doubt about it. I think she's going to be tough as long as she gets the trip. This is a much easier field than what she's run against in her last couple starts. So Concise Advice for me is the pick. Number 5, Traffic Stopper, coming up here for trainer Andy Passaris. Good to see Andy have a runner back here at Golden Gate. He was stabled here for a while at Golden Gate Fields, and for the past, 10, 12 months, he's been down south, moved to Southern California. But Andy isn't scared to get aggressive with his spotting, and that's what he's doing with this filly here by Cross Traffic. Was never in contention to win last time for 16,000 non-2 life on September 11th. So she wheels back in about 2 weeks here, and now she's in for 4 non-2 life. she has run on this track, and she's 0 for 4 on this track, but she hit the board once, and she's 1 for 15 lifetime. So she doesn't win that often anyway, and she's been running against a lot tougher as of late than what she finds here. So the class drop should do her well. Evan Roman, one of the top riders, has the call here. That's Traffic Stopper, 8-1 right now, the second pick for me. Babe's Got Appeal, an interesting contender for the Jonathan Wong barn. Jonathan actually kicked off her career at Del Mar in July, and she ran in a Calbred Maiden $50,000 race. Didn't break all that well, was well behind, virtually eased. Not a great effort, obviously, and it wasn't an ideal start to her career. Well, she was outclassed that day, I suppose, because next time out, Jonathan didn't waste around. He said, you know what, we're dropping her for Maiden 8. We're sending her to Golden Gate. And that did the trick. She went to the lead, showed a new dimension, basically did the exact opposite of what she did 2 starts ago in the career debut. She went to the lead, got a clear lead, and won the race right there, and nobody could catch her. Babe's Got Appeal. I don't know who she beat last time out. She defeated Many Bankers, who's a very professional, lower level maiden claimer, and Cyclone Slew, who is a contender tomorrow for Maiden 8,000. She's facing winners here, Babe's Got Appeal. But even in a sprint race like this, there's not a ton of speed in this race. We've got Q-Tip, who likes to be close to the pace in some sprint races. She's got some speed adding blinkers. And Big Award went to the lead 2 starts ago sprinting. I don't know if this gal needs the lead, but I think with Catalina Martinez aboard inside of the other speed, he's going to get aggressive and at least send her out of the gate to get forward position. I don't know if she'll be on the lead. If she is, great. If not, she's going to be just off of it. She should be right there, assuming she breaks well. Babe's Got Appeal, the third pick. The last one we'll talk about, Run Like Kona, very cold on the board right now, 14-1. Was 5-1 on the morning line. This gal, the last time we saw her, it was at Santa Anita for $25,000, and she didn't run a step. Blew the brake, was double-digit lengths behind, and just never picked it up from there. She takes 3.5 months off. She has a big gap in works from July 30th to August 29th. And then after that August 29th work, she takes another 3-4 weeks off. Here she's in a race, dropping from $25,000 levels down south, now in the barn of Miguel Ramirez, was in the barn of Bob Hess Jr., and all of a sudden she's in for $4,000. And I think a lot of the bettors see what I do, and that's why her odds are so high. There's a lot of red flags here, just looking at the fact that this gal does take a big drop in class. Her work pattern's sporadic. She's inconsistent. She broke her main for 20, and then she ran a really good race on the dirt in September after that for 16.92 life. But ever since she came off a layoff from September 2020 to April of 2021, she has not run well. So I think that's why she is 11-1. If you like her on the big class drop, you're probably pretty pleased with this price. But I don't love her in this race. I'm going to take a wait and see approach. And if she beats me, she beats me. Run Like Kona. 1 minute until race number 2, beginning our popular early pick 4. Good luck, everyone. And the red light is flashing on the starting gate at Golden Gate Fields. The runners have made their way to the gate for race number 2. We kick off the early pick 4 sequence here. Babe's Got Appeal to post position number 2, the first one to load in. Traffic Stopper coming up. Bullmageddon, post position number 3. Bullmageddon goes in. Big award. Still working with Big Award. Q-tip, post position number 8. To the outside post, Gray Abbey. Big Award has loaded. Gray Abbey to the outside. Gray Abbey has gone in. 2 back. Concise Advice and Run Like Coda. Run Like Kona to the inside post. And Concise Advice to complete the line. Concise Advice. Now Run Like Kona backs out. Run Like Kona goes in. Concise Advice now working with her to take her spot in the gate. Last leg of the Stronach 5 wager. Concise Advice. And they're off. Big Award had to take up shortly after the start. A good beginning from Q-tip in the red jacket, but Babe's Got Appeal is quicker. Babe's Got Appeal opens up about 2 lengths on Q-tip, who's back in second. Run Like Kona inside of her. Traffic Stopper is next in the 4th spot, 2 lengths clear of the favorite Concise Advice. Then Big Award with Bullmageddon and a 3 deep Gray Abbey. That trio Concise Advice. The sound looks like the rider's sounding the alarm on her. She's trying to move up now, takes the 3rd position. Babe's Got Appeal with a quarter mile to go, though, is cruising. Babe's Got Appeal off the turn, 2 lengths clear of Q-tip second. Concise Advice coming out of the pack. She is charging hard now, finding her best stride, and Concise Advice breezes to the lead. Concise Advice going on with it. Traffic Stopper up into second. Babe's Got Appeal look good at the quarter pole, but now she backs out, and Concise Advice turns it on. Concise Advice and Armando Ayuso 5 lengths ahead at the finish. Traffic Stopper's second, Q-tip third, then Babe's Got Appeal and Run Like Kona. Number 6, Concise Advice was first. Second, number 5, Traffic Stopper. Third, number 8, Q-tip. Fourth, number 2, Babe's Got Appeal. Fifth, number 1, Run Like Coda. 6, 5, 8, 2, 1, your top 5 finishers in race number 2. This race now official. And now in the winner's circle is number 6, Concise Advice, a 5-year-old bay mare by Sluice Tisnow out of Grand Advice by Mr. Greeley. Concise Advice was bred in California by Rancho San Miguel, now owned by Greg Avery and Steve Sherman, who is your winning trainer. The winning jockey, Armando Ayuso. Number 6, Concise Advice, pays $3.20 to win, $1 exacta, $4.40. 50-cent trifecta, $23.60. $2 double, $17.80. 10-cent superfecta, $23.27. And the $1 super high five in this race returns $422.50. Up next is race number 3, start of the Golden Pick 6, with over 20,000 carried over into that jackpot pool today. We have 23 minutes until race number 3.